Pop culture treats OCD like a quirky preference for neatness, a joke about organizing desks. But the reality is severe psychological imprisonment. True obsessions are highly intrusive, unwanted thoughts that hijack the mind and refuse to leave. To deal with the resulting panic, the brain invents compulsions, ritualized behaviors or mental acts designed to neutralize the distress. Sufferers can lose hours of their day repeating these rituals, searching for a relief that never actually comes. When society dismisses this condition as a mere desire for tidiness, it leaves millions of people trapped, unable to recognize the severity of their own symptoms. This chart illustrates the disorder's precise mechanism. An obsession triggers extreme distress, forcing a compulsion, yielding temporary relief. But that relief is a trap. It signals the danger was real, ensuring the intrusive thought returns with even greater force. This looping mechanism drives hidden subtypes of the disorder. It causes intense fears of harming others, paralyzing moral or religious scrupulosity, relationship anxiety, and a relentless need for things to feel right. Because these fears look nothing like the stereotype of obsessive hand-washing, they go completely unnoticed by sufferers and are routinely misdiagnosed by general doctors. As a result, the average person with OCD loses over a decade of their life stuck in a self-reinforcing cycle no one else can see. When someone finally asks for help, the intuitive move is to visit a generic talk therapist. Supportive therapy naturally tries to help by rationally talking through anxieties to soothe their fears. But applying logic to an irrational obsession sends a dangerous signal. It validates the false alarm as a legitimate threat. Receiving constant reassurance from a professional acts exactly like a mental compulsion, actively reinforcing the urge to avoid the fear. Instead of putting out the fire, standard talk therapy acts as highly combustible fuel for the OCD loop. Well-meaning, untrained intervention actively tightens the disorder's grip on the mind. The gold standard, evidence-based treatment requires a completely different approach: exposure and response prevention, or ERP. ERP is a highly specific form of cognitive behavioral therapy that abandons the standard talking cure. Looking back at the chart, the first half is exposure. The clinician deliberately triggers the distress. Next is response prevention, actively blocking the usual neutralizing ritual. Sitting with the anxiety, the brain learns the distress will peak and naturally subside. ERP acts as a structural circuit breaker, ending the cycle by forcing the brain to habituate to anxiety without the crutch of a ritual. Successful treatment strips intrusive thoughts of their power, turning a once paralyzing obsession into background noise that no longer commands a reaction. With the loop broken, these thoughts no longer dictate behavior, cause panic, or steal hours of the day. Yet, the mental health industry suffers from a tragic bottleneck. Very few therapists are actually trained to deliver ERP. Knowing exactly how to fix the circuit means nothing if you cannot geographically or financially reach the clinician holding the tools. For residents of Georgia, coping and healing counseling is closing that 10-year gap. They maintain a diverse, culturally competent team of over 15 licensed therapists, including clinical social workers and professional counselors, equipped specifically for ERP. As this map shows, they eliminate geographic boundaries entirely. Operating as a fully HIPAA-compliant telehealth practice, their coverage reaches all 159 counties in the state. They also remove the financial barriers. Medicaid patients pay a $0 copay, and sessions under major insurances like Aetna, Cigna, Blue Cross, United, and Humana range from just $10 to $40. A proper diagnosis must always be made by a licensed clinician. You can start that process by visiting chctherapy.com or calling 404-832-0102. With affordable telehealth access to specialized care, nobody has to lose another decade of their life to a broken loop.